Hey, this is Mrs. J. Thanks for tuning in. For the last part of the Pegboard toy that we're making an Onshape, we're going to make some drawing sheets. The drawing sheets are helpful to send your product to a manufacturer so they know what they're making when they create, in this case, the plastic mold. So they won't 3D print these parts and send them out to kids. They will make a mold, inject it with the heated plastic, let it cool, and then ship it out to the toy stores. So what you want to do is get your Pegboard toy open, and you'll have a whole bunch of parts down here in your assembly. So click plus button in the bottom left and create a drawing sheet. Click here. Sometimes it gets a little stuck when you open it. Make sure that you're choosing ANSI A inch.dwt. DWT is a drawing type. Inch is the scale that we used when we were making this, but they give you options here to change it, so keep it there. And A is 8.5 by 11 to fit our regular printer. You're going to click OK. Click No Views is already clicked. Click OK. I'm going to click cancel because I already opened it. Sometimes it takes a minute to load. Sometimes you need to refresh a little bit. It hangs up once in a while. When you get it to load, it'll look like this. Pause this video if yours is not loading. When you're ready to work on this, come down to the bottom. It'll just say the word drawing. I want you to say drawing 1. Right click, rename, and call it, leave the word drawing there. Call it the name of whatever part you're doing. This one's round peg. I'll make another one for the square peg, and I'll make that drawing square peg. I'll make another one for the top, and I'll call that drawing top, drawing triangle, drawing ends, drawing mallet. So you do that for each one of your parts. For the mallet, you can do the mallet and the handle together. Okay, so this one is drawing round peg. We want to insert our views. So we're going to come up to the top left, insert view. And then you have to figure out what size it's going to be. So insert, I click that here. I'm going to click on round peg. They don't usually give you pictures until you expand. Click that. And if you can choose the front view because it defaults, just make sure it's in that orientation. If you click front and it doesn't appear to be the front view, it's just because you built it on a different plane. Just put the view in the right spot. So the view scale says 1 to 2, and that actually looks nice for this paper. You can play with that so it fits nicely. So you want it always to be, I'm going to hit escape now. And you always want to have this isometric in the top right, top view in the top left, front view, bottom left, and right side view in the bottom right. ISO top, front side, always. And it has to look correct, never mind what it says on this thing. So I want to come back and insert it again, or you can play with projected views. So let's try insert. Now I still have the round peg selected, and I'm going to choose the top view. It should be a round circle, right? Oh, look, it's square. So we're going to make that line up. It should line up exactly with this. A little difficult to do. And left click so it stays. You notice if I just leave it on my mouse, it tends to rotate, and it'll give you all the views as you move around. But I'm going to hit escape so I have the right views. So I have front, I have top. I'm going to insert again. Now I want isometric, which I'm going to put over here in the top right. Move my mouse and hit escape. I'm going to right click on this one and put show shaded view. That shows the color. Remember that you're required to have color and not the default light blue that comes in Onshape. One more, insert. And I'm missing the right side view. So right, which should look exactly like my front view because, well, you know, it's a cylinder. Hit escape, and you're actually all done for this part for now. I want to keep these around. We're going to work on this title page next week, so keep these saved. That's it. We can try it again. So let's come down to the bottom here, hit create drawing, and then ANSI A inch, no views, okay. Since we need one for each part, we can just keep going. You can drag along your tab here to move these to places in any order that you want them so you don't forget. It's going to say drawing 1 because I renamed my first one. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can rename it while it's still loading. And we're going to call this square peg. That's the second one. Try round peg, drawing square peg. I'm going to move it here so I always have part, drawing. You could do it however makes you happy. Takes a minute to load. Okay, I'm going to pause the video while I wait. Okay, it takes a minute to load there, and I'm not even using Google Meet, so just be patient with that. Eventually it gets there. I ended up having to refresh here, but it would have come up if I waited. Okay, so this time let's try insert, insert again, and now I want the square one. So I'm going to expand it. I'm going to click on it. It should pop up on my mouse cursor there. Okay, so I have the front view. It says 1/2. 1/2 we know looks good. So I'm going to put that in there, and then what you can do is if you don't hit escape, it lets you see your views. It doesn't always put them in the right place. So I just moved it up, and it looks to be the top view. So I'm going to left click that. I'm going to drag over to the side here and see if it continues. No, it won't. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape. Let's try projected views. Projected view. From projected view, you're supposed to be able to click on any object and drag away, and it would give you the next view. So this could be the right side view. We can't tell because it's a square rectangle. Square top, rectangle shape, but you can't. They're the same. So just drag it over. And then to project again, it looks like I had to click it and drag up. I know that's not the ISO view. So I'm going to see if I can find that. And that's the ISO view I want. And it changes when I come over here. So we're going to take that off. Oh, I know why. If you do projected view, you have to do it from the bottom left. The only one allowed to do projected views. I forgot. So projected view on the top there. Click your bottom left. That's the front view. And then drag over to where you want it. And you can do that for each one. If you drag from this one to here, you'll get top. From this one to here, you'll get right. And from this one to here, you'll get ISO. And that's this thing called projected view. That's kind of cool, huh? See how the cursor is changed? So escape when you're done, and don't forget to right click on the isometric view to show shaded view and make sure you have a color, not the default on shape blue. Okay, let's try it one more time and see what we can do for the mallet. Okay, so I don't have the handle ready. I'll have to do this in a separate video, but let me see if I can borrow one. What you have to do here is take the mallet and put it into its own new assembly by itself. So you'd have to come to the bottom left, create an assembly, bring in that top of the mallet. So insert, mallet, drop it in there. And I actually think I might have the handle from working in another class. Let me see. Create a version. If you ever get that message, always let it create a new version. It means you've made a change and they're not happy with you. No mallet here. Pegboard toy. Let's try here. There you go. Handle. Okay, so I borrowed it from another project. Yours will be in there. Okay, so just drop it in. Obviously, it's in the wrong direction. We're going to fix that. Okay, and green check mark. Oh, I should probably change the colors, huh? So this color would be unacceptable because it's default on shape blue. So I would fix that color before I turn it in. And let's give them some movement. So I'm going to move this guy out of the way. Oh, I forgot. You have to click on it to move it. Come over here. You just play with these arrows. They're kind of a pain in the butt. And then this one, I actually need to see its hole. Oh, perhaps I didn't make one. Yep, I don't have one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this part. Just going to delete, and let me bring in one that's done here. Hopefully this one's good. Oh, it's the same one, isn't it? Okay, let's get it over. I have to go to other documents. Created by me. Mallet, this one's done. Okay, so it's actually matching, even better. Okay, so if you're like me and you have extra parts and you don't want them, just left click delete. Okay, so you need to be able to see the hole. You need to be able to see an end. That's why I rotated them. So we're just going to do this slider mate. That might work nice. We can use that, and we can use revolute mate. Actually, all of these would work just fine. Cylindrical mate might be best. Let's try that one. All right, so we would go either that or the fastened one. So I clicked on cylindrical mate. I'm going to see if I can get in here. I'm going to right click and move around. Remember, always in a blank space. I'm going to get right in the back there and make sure I'm actually in the back. Sometimes it's a mind trick. Yeah, I'm in the back there. And then I'm going to click the end of this one. And I'm going the wrong way. That's not good. All right, let's try that again. I can probably just slide it through and make it look good, but let's get rid of that. Let's move this guy over. Oh, the whole thing moved together, huh? Can I undo? I can undo. Okay, can undo and try that again. Let me try a different mate. Let me try the slider mate. We used that in the beginning and it worked good with the pegs, remember? Okay, so it looks like I might have to use the other end to make this go well. So let's get inside here. Remember, there's 3. Get that back door one all the way in the back. And I'm going to rotate around so I can see this side. And I don't really know what side until you try it. And then get on the outside of it. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So you just have to play with this until you get the one that works for you. Slider makes seem to work fine. It's in there nice and tight. We're going to close this. So to make a drawing sheet for this, it's assembly 2. I'm just going to rename it assembly for the mallet. Right click, rename, and then get yourself a nice new drawing sheet. Do I have a new one? I have drawing. And I need a new drawing sheet, so click, create drawing. So now the only difference is instead of bringing it apart, you're bringing in an assembly, and it's soup cake. Okay, good, it's working now. So it says current document when I go to insert, and you can choose parts or assembly. So now you want the assembly. It's giving me the front view, which is not, because remember I kind of threw it around there, right? So I want to rotate this until I figure it out. So let's go front, back. I can tell that's not the right way. Okay, so the best front view for this assembly would be this, and it should be flat down. I don't think I'm going to see that here. Now I know it says right, but I want it to look correct. Let's see if I can get it. Right, left, bottom. Nope. Okay, so the best view for the front view is going to be the right view. I know it's confusing, but it shows, remember we looked at the cars in the beginning of the year, it shows the length and the most features of the object. So that would be our bottom view. I'm just going to drag it up. That'll be my top view. I do wish that it was all flat. I wish this was down here. And that happens to be how I put it in the assembly because I rushed it. But it's still fine. Okay, so projected view. Always click on this one and drag out. So always decide on your front view and then drag out. I think I missed it. Oh no, I got it. Here you go. So my right side view should show the edge and then give me a nice ISO view. I have to come back here and a nice ISO view. So ISO view has like that angle on it. Hit escape, right click, and show shaded view. Okay, so I'm going to play with mine some more and get it to be better, but if you can get this to have this part flush like down here as if you just pressed it down on the table, that would be better. ISO top. So ISO, top, front, side, and we're going to leave it like that. So it's interesting that the names don't match, but my views are the way I want them, and that happens. So thanks for watching and have fun making these.